TV.
So thank you all for coming. We're a bit of a smaller crowd today, which is totally fine. I'm happy that you all came out tonight. Tonight we are going to be talking about a few things. We've got some special guests joining us from the town, as well as our OPP Detachment Commander, Inspector DePasquale's joined us today. And we have some updates from councillors. So for those who have never been before, I think everybody's been to one before that's here. What we will do is start with a bit of a presentation from town staff, as well as updates from council, and then we will go into the Q&A portion. Open Q&A, you guys are welcome to ask whatever you would like. So today we are going to start with Councillor Andrews, who's going to provide an update on his committee. So come on up, Councillor Andrews.
We're going to be quick to it today.
Look at this, I have the honor of being the first on the microphone, and it really is an honor and a pleasure to see those of you that are in attendance tonight. If we happen to have a big group of people come in afterwards, if you don't mind, I'll probably have to repeat this. But the one thing that's really a pleasure is in this capacity. Being in an elected role, we have the opportunity of engaging with people in our community, not only in person, through phone, through social media, and it continues to be an absolute honor. I think that, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the role of council, we have not only our council meetings, we have our councils of committee, but we also have that opportunity, a luxury of connecting with the members of our community. And I was looking at my calendar. Outside of all of the council meetings and committee meetings, the calendar, I had 71 days where throughout the last time I was here at the Mayor's Town Hall, that those of us on council have had an opportunity to either engage with members of the community, be that a grand opening or some community event where we have that opportunity of seeing what the impact of what that event has on our community. So it really is, again, a continued pleasure to be in this capacity. What I'm hoping to do is to provide you a high-level overview of the files that I have in my portfolio. I have 5 at the moment, which include economic development and culture. I also have the Orangeville Public Library Board, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, the 236 SHIP, which is the Supportive Housing and Province Board, as well as the one that Mayor Post has alluded to, which I'll speak to with a little more detail, is the Affordable Housing Task Force. So speaking briefly, the economic development and culture portfolio. In these times of uncertainty, I know that we're in the midst of a federal election. Many of us are aware of what's happening down south to a certain extent. We hear the word of tariffs and that tariff discussion, which is not going to be part of my presentation. But what it does do is keep our ears open on what effect it may have on the businesses and our economic activities in our community. Tariffs are going to play an important role on how we are, in fact, going to respond from a business perspective, and how we are going to respond from a municipal perspective too as well. And I can say that this is really front and center of the Economic Development Office, is to make sure that we have a resilient community that is represented from a business perspective. The ED strategy, which is known as the Economic Development and Culture Strategy, was completed in Q3 of 2024 and presented and approved by Council on November 18th. The strategy is critical and an important document supporting both the municipality and our business community. Now, the Love Orangeville campaign, for those of you that have seen the Love outside of Town Hall, that campaign wrapped up on March 1st. And again, I want to thank Council under the leadership of Mayor Post, our communications team, but also the team with the Economic Development Office. This was really something that was critical from a tourism perspective. Day tourism is really part of what Orangeville's fabric is. You see that in some of the things that we do, not only downtown, but through some of the other festivals and activities that are taking place. So when it comes to the Love Orangeville campaign, you're going to see a lot more of that happening. Again, for those of you that may have been at some of the most recent grand openings, I was proud to be at one this past weekend, where we have a brand new Love Orangeville ribbon. So it is to respectfully embrace not only the business commitment, but also to acknowledge the fact that we really do love Orangeville. So again, that's a campaign, and I saw some of you who in fact were really gracious in putting your photo of Love Orangeville on social media. Quickly, other activities within the economic development portfolio, the annual Orangeville and Area Job Fair. We had over 335 job seekers and 26 employers. Business at Breakfast brings the business community together to hear the economic realities facing the communities, pending U.S. tariffs, provincial and federal elections. Of course, we're in the midst of one right now. A few months ago, we had over 80 realtors and brokers from our community who were in attendance for the Real Estate Roundtable, and this was facilitated through the Economic Development Office. The objective behind that was to educate the business of real estate on what is happening from a building perspective in our community. We have some developments that are underway, and so it was really an opportunity for them to learn a little bit about that, but also to find out something that I'll be speaking to in just a few seconds about the Affordable Housing Task Force. There's also another component that was supporting the business community, the Tariff Resource website. This was in fact also supported with a tariff expert that provided some insight to prospective concerns from our business community. But there's a lot more happening in that portfolio and more to come. Moving on to the Orangeville Public Library, we're fortunate to have our library board chair in attendance, which we're really happy to see him, and I'm very proud to be a part of that along with Councillor Pendergast. Great things are happening at both our Mill Street and Alder Street locations. Renovations completed to the first floor. The atrium as well as the elevator is working seamlessly. A wedding took place at our Orangeville Public Library on March the 1st. That says a lot about the, I guess, the beautiful area that we have the fireplace as part of the library. And the couple that was in fact wed, they specifically wanted to do it in the library, which is a first for our library, but I think we may have more to come. What's also interesting, our library memberships are up. 7,874 active memberships, an increase of 17% in comparison to 2023, which is really, really encouraging. Programming, very pleased to see that our programming department with the library is also doing a lot. As an example, we've had experts in the library. Al Pace, who is a local artist and adventurer, was providing a presentation, had Family Literacy Day, Magic of Story Time with magician Marty the Magician, and one that I was also very proud to be a part of, which was called King for Country in collaboration with the town's EDI committee. And this was recognizing the #2 Construction Battalion from the First World War and how impactful they were. And it was really a remarkable presentation that was made by not only a partnership with the DCCBA, but also with the library programming side. And lastly, highlighting the things that were happening during the month of March and February, I should say, the Black History Month was performance at the Orangeville Opera House. And the Makerspace Specialists, you may have heard a little bit about this. In fact, at council last evening, we spoke about that as part of our consent agenda items. What was highlighted there is the investment of our Makerspace itself. We do have a Makerspace Specialist, and for those of you that are not familiar with what a Makerspace Specialist is, it's someone who has an opportunity to convey new technology using 3D printers, using podcasting, using all kinds of neat things to help businesses and individuals, children themselves, to learn and express themselves in different ways. So commitment by the Orangeville Library Board is to provide space. The space itself is at the Alder Street location, and we're hoping that this particular investment and the space itself will be opening in the fall of 2025. Moving quickly to equity, diversity, and inclusion. Since its inception, the EDI committee has provided recommendations, support, and guidance to the municipality. Recently, the EDI committee provided a report indicating that it has fulfilled its mandate and requested to dissolve the committee. Now, this in no way is a conclusion to the activity of those that were participating, and we have a member of the EDI committee also in attendance this evening. And again, thank you for your contribution as a member of that committee. But we wanted to ensure the general public that EDI is part of the commitment from the municipality. In these times where EDI, equity, diversity, inclusion, or south of the border, it's called DEI, in many cases being wiped off the map. And that is the difference between what we do here in Canada. It's also a difference of what we do here in Orangeville. Through the strategy itself, looking at partnership, not only with the Orangeville Public Library, but supporting cultural events through the Economic Development and Culture Department. We've also provided opportunities for the members of that committee to cross-pollinate to other committees of council, and they'll be quite active with that. Just quickly, also supporting the fact that the County of Dufferin has the resources and personnel with a robust DEI department, and it was felt that their support of what's happening across the region really met our needs from a municipal perspective and a commitment to DEI or EDI, or EDI, I should say. Briefly, the SHIP supportive housing, which is the 236 location, First Street, right beside, I guess, the tire repair shop, as well as near the Restore there. That particular project has been really a joy to be a part of on that board. All the units are occupied. Staff on site are there to assist the needs of the tenants in forms of transitioning when it comes to housing. And as I've indicated, that the working relationship that the municipality has with them has been really positive, to the point that there's some consideration from that organization for further expansion. They're not quite at that point because they have a variety of other projects south of our area, but they are certainly committing and talking to senior staff. More to come on that. So one of the things that was highlighted by Mayor Post and was highlighted in the documentation that many of you may have seen is the Affordable Housing Task Force. And unlike a committee of council, a task force has a starting date and an end date. And the objective behind the task force is for approximately a 12-month period. We have brought members of our community, be that those that are part of the development community, those that are in real estate, those that have a vested interest in trying to improve what is defined as affordable housing. And it is a very difficult question to answer, depending on the community that you may be in, where you live, the ebbs and flows of the economy, inflation, and all the above. And there's no one real solution, but we're trying to look at ways of providing a solution that is defined as an Orangeville solution in collaboration with some activity that's happening at the County of Dufferin level. To really give you as high level as an overview as I can, this particular task force is made up of 5 individuals along with staff who are in the areas of our planning and our building official departments. As I've made reference, those individuals come from a variety of backgrounds, and really their input has been valuable. We meet monthly. We, in fact, have a meeting this coming Thursday. And the objective is to provide, at the conclusion of the task force, recommendations for council and the municipality to consider. Here's a piece of a note for you to kind of take away here. You may have heard that the province of Ontario was processing a request for municipalities. We need 1.5 million homes by 2021. For those of us who have been close to the discussion, that figure is actually closer to about 2 million homes, and we're not even going to hit that target. That's not 2 million homes here in Orangeville, just make sure that you know that. It's in fact across the province. We know that we've gone through a provincial election. We're in the midst of a federal election. There's all kinds of discussions. In fact, both the leaders of the Liberal and also the Conservative Party, and in fact the leader of the NDP, are talking about affordable housing as being one of the key issues of the election, in addition to the other things we know are also on that platform. So how are we going to get more affordable housing in Orangeville? It's a matter of looking at the challenges. It's a matter of talking with the developers, talking to you, the members of the community. And part of the task force will be, in fact, to have a discussion, educational open house to find out what you really are asking for from the term of affordable housing. It does differ from everyone that is here, and it differs to other people that are out there. So many factors are, in fact, involved with what is called affordable housing. My definition would be completely different to some of yours. But there is a sweet spot in defining not only what is defined as affordable, but also the types of housing. So that session is in the works. We'll have more information through our communications division that will be talking about it. But just to highlight a couple of other things, to expedite some form of affordable housing through the town's planning and building division, as per changes with the Ontario Building Code and the province's Build Faster Act of 2022, the town's zoning bylaw regarding what is defined as an accessory dwelling unit, an ADU or an ARU, additional residential units, was amended and passed by council on February 10th. Now, this amendment has helped to define what is now known, allowed provincially, in order to speed up some availability of some form of affordable housing. We're talking either a purchase unit or a rental unit. And we know the complexity for those who may either be renting or know of people who are. We know the challenges that exist here in our community. In the form of ADUs or ARUs, that includes vetted basement apartment or unit attached to a main dwelling, or even a separate unit on a property. Now, the province has allowed the municipalities to move ahead with this in the capacity of up to 2 ADUs or ARUs are permitted on a lot in addition to the main dwelling unit. Now, there are some specifics to zoning bylaw requirements, which I won't get into detail at this time. I do have a one-page handout that our building as well as our planning department has put together. It provides a quick summary of what an ARU is, and it is a graphic piece that is really well done. So if any of you would like to have a copy of that, I do have some available. I will point out that there are no development charges to apply to ADUs and or ARUs, but it is critical to note that in addition to meeting zoning requirements, they must also comply with the new 2024 Ontario Building Code and Fire Code. A building permit is required, and they must be connected to municipal water and or sewer services, either through the main dwelling, if it is a basement apartment, or maybe an attic apartment, or if it is attached to an existing dwelling unit, or if it is, say, a granny suite or an in-law suite, or whatever you would like to define it as being, it must have municipal water and sewer service hooked up. There are a number of very unique designs and have had the opportunity of meeting a variety of different, as I call, forward housing thinkers. There is no perfect solution, but one that hopefully the task force will provide is an Orangeville solution that hopefully will be embraced by many in our community. Lastly, as I made reference to the fact that the federal government is speaking about accelerating some form of housing. Let's see what happens at the conclusion of the election. Maybe it will provide some support from the municipalities. There are all kinds of ideas and options that are out there, but I think what's most important is that the municipality is really moving ahead, and we hope to have this report from the task force completed in Q3 of 2025. And if there's a need for an extension of this dialogue with the task force, we will certainly be coming to council for that. So on a final note, I again am honored to be in this capacity as an elected official representing the members of our community. I want to thank each and every one of you that are here tonight, and please, if you have any questions, I'm presuming that the format will be that people will be able to ask questions afterwards. All right, thank you, Mayor Post, and thank all of you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Councillor Andrews. As you see, Councillor Andrews keeps very busy with his committee work. Councillor McIntosh, come on up.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank you for being here tonight. It's glad to see a bit of community involvement. It'd be nice if there was more people here, but that's fine. You're the ones that care, so you're here. I also sit on a number of committees. I'm on the board of directors for Orangeville Hydro. A lot of people don't realize that we own our own hydro, which is very beneficial for the town. We do get some income from it, and it's applied to our budget every year, or every other year, sorry. I also sit on the board of the Credit Valley Conservation Area. That's not very exciting, but I'm there. So today I'm going to talk about our age-friendly committee. It's run by seniors. It's for seniors. We have Mike Chapman here from the committee. So if any of you have any questions, he might be able to help me with some of the answers. But a couple of things I just wanted to bring up that we've worked on this year. A snow plow relief for seniors. That's something we're quite proud of. Basically, you apply to the town if you're a certain age and meet the criteria, and you get $200 towards clearing your snow. You can buy a snow blower, you can hire your grandson to do it, or you can hire a company to do it. But that's the idea, is you get this $200 to help out. And that's still in effect. If anyone knows somebody that needs that service, they can get it any time. Again, there's a checklist you have to fill out. You have to meet certain requirements, and they'll all be on that form. I think it's going to end in the next couple of weeks. So if you are interested, or if you know somebody that's interested, please let them know. One of the things that we've been working on constantly updating and changing, we have a senior discount business directory. And I'll be putting some sheets back there. There's a new one coming out in June with a bunch more on it. But for now, we've got a two-sided paper. And it's got everything from Angel's Diner to Wild Wing in Orangeville that offer discounts for seniors. Some at 55, some at 65, some at 60. So I'll leave some of these at the back, but if you want one, just pick one up. And there will be new ones coming out in June. And we distribute them to the Orangeville Senior Center and places like that. So just be aware that's out there. It's amazing how many places actually offer discounts for seniors. If you don't ask, they won't tell you. So make sure, if you're in that age group as I am, always ask, and you might be surprised. So anyway, I'll leave some of these out. And once again, thank you for coming out, and it's glad to see you. Glad to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor McIntosh. For our panel tonight, we have a few special guests. We've got our OPP Detachment Commander, Inspector Michael DiPasquale, who's going to do a bit of an update on community safety. We're going to talk about some things as we head into spring when we normally start to see modified mufflers and loud noises, distracted driving, and speeding. So, Inspector DiPasquale, if you want to start off, sure. We'll turn it over to you. You can turn on the mic and you should be good to go.
Oh, is that good? Excellent. So, hi everybody. My name is Mike DiPasquale. I am the detachment commander at a different OPP. Thank you. So pleasure to be here. To be honest with you, I didn't want to get too close because I hate hearing my voice. When you have to hear your own voice, I don't like to hear it. So we are entering the final year of our 2023-2025 action plan. So in the OPP, across the 6 regions and across the detachments, we have an action plan that has 3 commitments. So it's crime, in no particular order, crime, traffic, and community well-being. So in terms of crime, things that are important to our community that we hear from our community: intimate partner violence, property crimes, also frauds, and offender management, and our response to working with our communities for each one of those, and moving along to our next priority, which is traffic. And that, of course, is a big concern for our communities. It's a big concern for the detachment, and we've all heard of the Big Four. I trust everybody knows what the Big Four are. If not, I'm happy to go into one a little bit more specifically, but I'll leave for the questions. And then, of course, community well-being. We've got an outstanding partnership with Headwaters and our mobile crisis response team. We're very actively involved in the community. We'll have community events right across the county, especially in Orangeville, and with respect to Project Lifesaver. So a partnership that we have with the Lions Club, in which we use a device to help track members of our community who may be lost or are lost, who have Alzheimer's. So that is in a high level what our priorities are and continue to be as we finish off this particular 3-year plan. Specifically for the traffic, I understand it's a problem for our community, as it is a problem in my community where I live, with respect to loud mufflers and vehicles that are modified. It is definitely a concern for us as police officers, and we most recently engaged with the Ministry of Transportation and have done some joint enforcement, and we plan on doing that as well. The beauty in working with the MTO is some of their officers are actually mechanics. So someone like me, I make mechanics very rich because I know nothing about cars. So if the mechanic says, Mike, this is wrong, I'm saying, okay, no problem. So that's a great benefit to have. Obviously, as police officers, we do receive some type of training, high level in terms of vehicle modifications, but the MTO is a great asset, a great community partner to us, not only for modified vehicles, but also for commercial motor vehicles. So our officers participate in at least one commercial motor vehicle specific traffic safety initiative every single month. whether it is one of our specially trained officers who's doing what's called a level 1 inspection, which is a thorough inspection of a commercial motor vehicle, or our officers who are out running radar in our communities and specifically looking for speeding commercial motor vehicles. So, subject to any questions, I won't go into anything further. Just wanted to open it up to the community if there's any questions.
Thank you so much, Inspector. I would like to introduce our members of town staff who are here today. We have our CAO, David Smith, if anybody hasn't met him yet. Thanks for being here, David. And we also have our General Manager of Infrastructure Services, Tim Koselek. And I'm actually going to turn the mic over to Tim, who's going to give a bit of an update on our water meter installations.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I just wanted to give an update on our water meter installations. The town started installing water meters in the 1990s. A lot of the water meters that were installed are over 20 years old, and we have a capital program right now to replace the water meters in town. It was expected to be completed in July of this year, and as of right now, we have about 85 out of 10,000 meters done. So it looks like they're going to be done ahead of schedule and on budget. So we're expecting a substantial completion in May. There'll be a few stragglers that we'll do in the summertime, but substantially they're going to get the program completed in May. Some of the big improvements for the water meters, they're more accurate. In the past, the old water meters, they get gummed up with the hard water and different things. They weren't as efficient and effective. And we also had problems with some of them not working. These ones are accurate. One of the nice things too, they're easier to read. They have a remote reader that can be read remotely. So you don't have to have somebody go door to door trying to get into the backyard or wherever the puck is to tap it. They can be read remotely from outside the units. One of the other big things is the bills would be accurate too. In the past, you get your December bill. If they do it before Christmas, you might only have 25 days. If they read it in January 5th or 6th, you might end up having 35 days. So we had comments from people saying, why is this bill higher than last month? It isn't always 30 days, sometimes 35, sometimes 25. So this way, it'll make it more consistent. One of the big things in my mind too, the meters have a backflow detector. So if water ever flows back from private property into the town system, there's an alert right away, so we know there's an issue. So it helps prevent any risk of contamination to the system and make sure it's well known. The other thing, which I think is the biggest one, it tracks the usage, and it can set off alarms that, hey, you've used water 24 hours in a row, you might have a leak or an issue with your water softener or something. It's one of the things we're working on, having the program open to the public probably in the fall. There'll be more information coming out where you can more or less log into your water meter through the app, and they can set different alerts for it, or you can just monitor your usage. So you could set a threshold usage. When I use over X number of liters per day, let me know. If I'm out of town, you can set it up so it'll give you an alert saying, hey, you're using water, even though you're down in Florida. So then you know you have a leak problem, somebody can check it out. I mentioned the continuous flow. It's a great way. A lot of people have an issue with their water softener or a toilet or other items, and they don't know what's happening. So it sets an alarm saying, hey, you've used 24 hours water in a row or 10 hours or whatever you set it. Maybe you're filling your pool and you're using it all that time. But if you're not, it's a good chance to take a look at your system. And it'll have fairly easy to use dashboard charts and the alerts. So that'll be something we're coming out more in the fall. We want to do that after we get all the meters installed, get a bit of a system going so we iron out any issues that are done. But that'll be done in the fall, and I think that'll be a great opportunity for everybody to track their usage. And that sort of leads me into, I guess, what I consider 3 good news stories. With this new system of being able to track the water usage, right now our water billing is done by Hydro, through Orangeville Hydro. It's sort of an efficiency. They send a Hydro bill. They can also bill the water. Instead of sending out multiple letters to people, we do it as part of one. But we had 2 commercial users that they found were using continuous water. The first one was using about 20 to 25 cubic meters per day, and a cubic meter is 1,000 liters. So they were using about 20 to 25,000 liters of water a day, and they found they had continuous usage. After they solved the issue, they were down to 3 cubic meters per day, or 3,000. And the problem was with their pump machine that it just constantly flowed. So a lot of it, they didn't see it because the water just flowed down the drain, but they were using close to 20,000 liters a day just flowing down the drain. So that saved approximately $1,100 a month based on their water bill. We had another commercial user, same idea. They were using 117,000 cubic meters a day, and they went down to 6,000 cubic meters a day. So about 5% of the usage. And same thing, they found a valve was open that they didn't know was open, and the water was just flowing all the time. So with that, it was saving approximately $6,000 a month. And just the third example was a residential user. They were using about 24,000 liters in October. And then they notified them saying, hey, you got high usage. They checked it and they found there was an issue with the water softener, and they went to about 45,000. So about 20% of what they were using before. Right now, Hydro One, they get a lot of the results from a water meter program, and they try and track some of it. So if they notice continual usage or something out of the ordinary for people, they'll call them or send a letter and let them know that, hey, you might want to check your system because it looks like something going on. So it's really working well. They've found a few of them like that, okay, it saves the town from producing water, saves the consumer money by spending the water they don't use, and it just makes it more efficient system. So just to give an example too, I guess with those three, they saved about $8,100 a month by fixing the leaks that they had. And in 5 days, that usage of water would be enough to fill the new Alder pool. So it just gives an idea, that volume of water that you didn't know was going through your plumbing. So it's one of the things we're really looking forward to having this system available for everybody. In the interim, they're trying to flag some of them, but I think in the long run, it'll be a great beneficial system for everybody. We'll save people money, we'll use less water, and it really ties into our prevention and trying to use less water. And I guess if there's any questions about the meters after, I can answer them, but I think it's been a great program, and we appreciate everybody's help in getting these delivered, and it's really been beneficial for everybody. Thank you.
So with that, I don't think David has any updates he wants to provide right now. So what we will do is we will take just a 3-minute break to be able to move around the microphone, and we will move straight into Q&A. So if you want to grab a coffee, grab a couple of Timbits, and just relax, and we will be back in just a couple minutes.